Hi, my name's Amanda and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the crossed clusters stitch. There's lots and lots of variations you can do with this. This one has a row of clusters and then they are separated by a row of UK double crochets. So there's loads and loads of variations and I'm going to talk you through them as we go along. So let's get started. So for this stitch you need a multiplier of 3 plus 2. So all that means is your starting chain must be divisible by 3, as in 3, 6, 9, 12. Carry on till you get your desired length and just add 2 extra stitches on the end. So I've got a starting chain here of 20, so that's 18 plus 2. And I have got my stitch marker in my first chain. Now if I was making a blanket, I would also put stitch markers in, say, every 20 to keep me on track with my counting, because there's nothing worse than making a huge long chain and then you just lose count and you don't know where you're up to. So that's my top tip if you were making something larger. So go ahead, make your starting chain and let's set off. So just for reference, I am using Stylecraft double knit with a size 4mm hook. You can use whatever yarn you like, just use the corresponding hook. To be able for you to cross over, you do need to keep your stitches quite loose. So I wouldn't necessarily move up a hook size. Stick to what the yarn band recommends. Obviously it's trial and error, but this is what I'm using. Double knit and a 4mm hook. So off we go. So as always, this chain on your hook does not count, and we are going to be working in the second chain from our hook. So that one's number 1 and that one is number 2. And as always, I am using UK terms. So we are going to be doing a row of UK double crochets. So that's hook in, yarn up, pull up a loop, send it down, yarn over, pull through 2, and let's put our stitch marker in just to keep us on track. So if you were listening in the US, this is US single, but we are using UK terms, so we are doing UK double crochets, and you're just going to repeat that process all the way along until you get to the end. So one row, this is setup row of UK double crochets, and I will meet you back at the other end. So I'm on my last stitch. I know that's because where my stitch marker is. In we go, and that's my last one. Now we have 2 options here. If you want, you can chain 3, turn your work, and you are ready to begin. So this would count as my first treble crochet. I don't like doing chain 3s because they can look quite baggy and gapey at the end. So I'm going to show you how to do the standing stitch. So I'm just going to take that out, come back, and just chain 1 and turn. You can do either, it's entirely up to you. This is just my preference. So I'm just going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to show you how to do the standing stitch. So I've just at my chain 1. So my first stitch is going to go in that very space there where our chain is coming out of, and we are going to do a regular double crochet. So just in there, pull up a loop. So that gives you 2 upright loops. If you can see, you've got 2 upright loops there. So we are going to do the second one around there, and that will give us the height of a treble without all the holiness of a treble. So we're going to do another double crochet around that loop. So just put it on as normal, and that is the standing stitch. So let's put our stitch marker in there. If you can see that V there, we are going in there, and we are ready to continue. So whichever way you chose to do this, whether it was a chain 3 or the standing stitch, this is our first stitch. So now we are going to go in the second stitch along. So that one is our first one, and this one is our next one. So we're skipping one and going in here, and we are going to do 2 incomplete stitches in the stitch before we finish it off. So you are going to yarn over as if you were doing a treble crochet. In you go, pull up a loop, but stop there, yarn over and pull through 2. Then we are going to go back in the very same place. So yarn over in the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. We've now got 3 loops on our hook. keep tight hold, yarn over and pull through all 3. So that is our first cluster. Now then, what I'm going to do, and what I suggest you do till you get the hang of it, is put a stitch marker in the next stitch along. Just till you get the hang of where you're going. So now we are going to cross it over. So in the one that you missed, which you can see is there, that's where our next stitch is going. So over the top of this one, but we're going to do exactly the same thing. So yarn over, pull it apart if you need to, and we're going over the top. Yarn over, pull up a loop. So we've got 3 on our hook. Now you need to sort of pull that up quite high. This is the key to crossing over things. Yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over in exactly the same place. So if you need to pull it apart a bit, you can see that's where you've crossed. In we go again. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Keep tight hold, pull it up. Yarn over, pull through 2. We've now got 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. So that is our cross. So the next stitch we are going along in is a regular treble. And this is where you could think, not quite sure where I'm going. So if you get the hang of putting a stitch marker in, just till you say you get used to where you're going, it will help. So you can take that out now because you know where you are. So in the next stitch along, so next to the first cluster that you made is a regular treble. And we're ready to go again. So you're going to skip 1 and in here our first cluster. So yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, make sure it's nice and tall, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over in exactly the same place, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now got 4, yarn over, pull through 2. We've now got 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. So again, I would put a stitch marker in the stitch next to that one, then you know where you're going afterwards. So just till you get the hang of it. So we are going, I've got a nice thread there. I think I must have been sewing in here. Let's pull that out. So we are going now in the space that we missed, which is there. So in that chain there, the one that we missed, we're doing our crossed cluster. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, keep tight hold, pull that up, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over in exactly the same space where we've just been, keep tight hold, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then in the next stitch along where our stitch marker is, a regular treble. And that is how you do the crossed clusters. So I'll do another couple with you. So remember, skip 1 in the next one along, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3, make it nice and tall, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go back in exactly the same space, yarn over, keep hold, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Put your stitch marker in the next one if you need it. There, just till you get the hang of it. And then we are going back in our skipped chain, which is that one there. Same again, yarn over, insert your hook, keep hold, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, and again yarn over exactly the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, keep hold and pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then our next one is there where our stitch marker is. And that is how you do, say, the crossed cluster. So just repeat that until you get to the end of the row, and I will meet you back there. So when you come to the end of the row, you should be left with 3. So just do exactly the same thing. Cluster, skip 1, cluster, crossover, treble in the last one, and I will meet you back there when you've put your last one in where your stitch marker is. So this is the end of row number 2. So again, write that down and we are ready to turn. Now then, in my example here, I had a row of UK doubles in between. Now you could put whatever you wanted in between there. If you wanted these more spaced out, that's fine. As long as you keep a note of them, it really doesn't matter. But I'm just going to do 1 row of doubles and show you where you're going. So we are just going to chain 1 and turn our work. So what we're going to do now is put a UK double in each of the stitches along, and if you turn them that way you can see your V's if you need to do it, or if you're okay like that then that's fine. But your first stitch is going right here where your chain is coming out of. If you find you don't really know where you're going, if you hold your work so you make it square, then you can see that that is the first stitch rather than it being down here and you don't quite know what's what. Make your work square so you can see that is the very first stitch there, and that is where we are going. So we are just doing a row of UK doubles as always. Stitch marker in all the way across the top. It's nice and easy to see where you're going, but as I say, if you do find a little bit of a struggle, if you go that way then you can see your V's. So just UK double, which would be a US single across the top of the row. So in my first example, we had a row of clusters and UK doubles. So that would be row 2, 3, 2, 3 repeated until you get to the end and finish on a row 3. So that matches your beginning. But if you wanted to space them out a little more, like I have done here, your in-between rows in your clusters need to be an odd number. So I would count that as 2, 3, 4, 5, and then row number 6 would be another cluster, because you need to do your clusters on the back. So if you want to space them out a little more, whatever you do in the middle has to be an odd row. So this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm ready to turn and start working on my clusters on the back, because the crossing over actually pushes them through to the other side. So here I've done 3 rows. It's just an odd number of rows in between because your cluster row needs to be on an even row. So just keep a note of whatever you're doing and say that in between needs to be an odd number. So that is how we crochet the crossed cluster stitch. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.